It was early morning in the quiet suburb of Granton. A soft breeze passed through rows of manicured lawns and neatly trimmed hedges. Most homes still had their blinds drawn. Sprinklers ticked rhythmically. The streets were empty, calm. A black SUV pulled slowly into a driveway near the end of a cul-de-sac. The engine cut off. A black man in a dark blue suit stepped out. His polished shoes clicked lightly against the concrete. From the passenger side, a young boy climbed out, backpack slung over one shoulder. They spoke briefly, sharing a few words that were lost in the breeze, but laughter followed. It was a simple, quiet moment. Then came the sound, tires squealing around a corner. A white police cruiser surged into view. No siren, no lights. It rolled to a sharp stop behind the SUV, pinning it in. The door flung open. A white officer in uniform exited quickly, hand already on the holster at his hip. "Hey, hands where I can see him." The shout sliced through the morning calm like a blade. Birds scattered from nearby trees. The boy froze. The man slowly raised his hands. "Is there a problem, officer?" "Turn around. Keep your hands in the air." The officer moved in with tense, rapid steps. His right hand stayed gripping the pistol, now half drawn. His left reached for his radio. "What's going on?" asked the man. "I said don't move. Step away from the vehicle." Slowly, the boy's mouth trembled. He stepped closer to the man, but the officer barked again. "Kid, stay where you are." The man turned slightly, eyes never leaving the officer. "He's my son. He's scared. Don't talk. Just do what I say." "You driving this vehicle?" "Yes. It's my vehicle. I just—" "License and registration." Now, the man didn't lower his hands. "You want me to move or not? Don't play smart with me. Reach slowly." Another voice rang out from across the street. "Is everything all right?" A neighbor stood in a robe on her front porch, holding a coffee mug, eyes wide. The officer ignored her. He took another step forward. "I said reach for your license. Do it slowly." The man's hands came down in measured movements. He pulled a wallet from his breast pocket and extended it. The officer snatched it and flipped it open. Then he froze. I scanned the ID card once, then twice. Silence. Something shifted in his face. The arrogance wavered. His lips parted slightly. His hand slipped away from the pistol. "You're, he began. "Captain Roberts?" The man said nothing. The boy was still frozen, eyes wide. He looked between the two men, confused. The officer swallowed. His voice dropped an octave, becoming quieter, more hesitant. "I didn't know. I wasn't informed." A long silence stretched between them. Then, finally, the man took his ID back. "You weren't informed the new captain is black." The officer opened his mouth, but said nothing. Across the street, the neighbor continued to watch, now joined by another neighbor peering from behind a curtain. The man turned to his son. "You okay?" The boy nodded slowly, eyes still wide. The man placed a hand gently on the boy's shoulder. "We're done here." The officer stepped forward. "Sir, I apologize. I was responding to a suspicious vehicle call, and—" The man turned back, his voice calm but with steel in it. "A black man in a nice car dropping his kid off for school. That's suspicious." The officer blinked. "No, sir, I didn't mean—" "You pulled a gun in front of a child. You assumed. That assumption could have killed me. Or him. Or both." The officer looked down. No lights. No announcement. No protocol. The man stepped closer. You just saw color and drew. Another silence. He looked at the cruiser. "Badge number." The officer looked up. "Excuse me?" "Badge. Number." The officer hesitated, then gave it. The man nodded. He looked back at the boy. "Get in the car." The boy climbed into the passenger seat. Door closed softly behind him. The man took one last look at the officer. "Report to my office by 10 a.m." The officer's mouth opened again, but no words came. The man got into the SUV. The engine started. The vehicle reversed slowly, the cruiser backing out of the way. It drove off, turning at the corner, disappearing from view. The officer stood alone. His hand still hovered near the now holstered weapon. Across the street, the neighbor disappeared inside and shut the door. The silence returned to Granton. The news spread quickly through the precinct. A new captain had transferred in from a city. Decorated, respected, known for internal reform and an intolerance for misconduct. Rumors had circulated, but no one expected that the first lesson would be public and so sharp. By 10 a.m., the officer stood outside the captain's office. Sweat dotted his brow. He knocked once. "Come in." He stepped inside. Captain Roberts sat behind a desk, hands folded. No smile. No warmth. "Shut the door." It clicked shut. "Sit." The officer sat. Silence filled the room again. Then the captain spoke. "You could have killed me." The officer shifted uncomfortably. "Sir, I made a judgment call based on—" "You made a call based on skin color." "Sir, I didn't know who you were." "You're not supposed to care who someone is, just what they're doing." The captain leaned forward slightly. "You didn't follow procedure. You didn't call it in. You approached with your weapon ready, in front of a child. I was responding to a call. You escalated without cause. You didn't identify yourself properly. You didn't assess the situation. You didn't see a father dropping his son off for school. You saw a threat." The officer said nothing. The captain let the silence linger. "I've read your record. 2 complaints of excessive force in the last 3 years. 1 sensitivity training, completed half-heartedly." The officer looked down. "Am I under review?" "You're suspended. Effective immediately." The officer's head shot up. "Aye, sir, please." The captain held up a hand. "You will not be armed while under my command until a full psychological evaluation is completed and reviewed. If you return, it will be on probation, under direct supervision." "Captain, this could end my career." "You almost ended mine. Or my life." Another pause. "I won't protect bad judgment, and I won't tolerate racism, implied or otherwise." The officer looked away. The captain stood. "This department is changing. Starting now." The door opened behind him. "Dismissed." The officer stood slowly and walked out. Later that evening, the captain sat with his son at the dinner table. Neither spoke for a while. The boy pushed some peas around his plate. "Is that man coming back?" the boy finally asked. "Maybe," the father said, "but not the same way." The boy nodded. "Why'd he do that?" The answer came after a long pause. "Because he was afraid of something he didn't understand. And because people taught him wrong." "That's not fair." "No, it's not." The boy looked up. "But you weren't scared." "I was. But I stayed calm. That's the difference." The boy nodded again. They sat in silence a little longer. "I don't want to be scared either," the boy said. "You won't be," his father replied. "You'll be smart. You'll be strong. And you'll know the truth. Assumptions can be deadly. Fear, unchecked, becomes a weapon. And authority without accountability is a threat. This story isn't just about one man or one officer or one child. It's about what happens when bias walks the beat, and what it takes to confront it, with courage, with calm, and with consequence.